K Black Boxing. Coming to you with another video. I was reading an article on BoxingScene.com. Terence Crawford believed if a fight between Errol Spence and Keith Thurman was made, that he would lean towards Keith Thurman because he's seen a little bit more from Keith Thurman. And he believed that if Keith Thurman would have fought Kell Brook in the same manner of Errol Spence, Keith Thurman would have won too. But he also believed if Errol Spence would have fought Keith Thurman the way he fought Kell Brook, that Keith Thurman would have won. So let me dive into it because, it would be a close fight if Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence were to fight. Believe it or not. Some people actually believe this narrative that Errol Spence would just watch Keith Thurman. I don't believe that at all. And before I go further, I like Errol Spence. If I look at my top 10, he probably would be in my top 10. So, and I'm saying that to say this, I'm not a hater of Errol Spence. And you got to say that to these people these days because once people start, moving up the ladder, they start getting some people that's kind of like, jumping a bandwagon as well as, anything you say negative, that they perceive as negative, that you're a hater or something like that, just because you don't share the same narrative. So I kind of stayed away from the Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman because I've heard many different videos, man, and like I said, people just believe, and read lots of comments as well. People just believe that Keith Thurman is just this weak, ponytail, light-skinned guy that like to read books and play the flute and do a whole lot of different things when he's outside of the boxing ring. So they think as if he's weak. Although he's undefeated, although he has 2 titles, and although he has beat everybody that's been placed in front of him. So, but anyway, I digress. With Errol Spence, with Errol Spence, we all know that even before he got in the ring with Kell Brook, we seen him as good. He an ex-Olympian, and he's been climbing up the ranks. Man, he beat everybody that's been placed in front of him as well. Young, undefeated fighter who has a belt now. He did what he had to do. He went over to England to beat Kell Brook. He beat him with the submission. And, I like I said, I picked, Errol Spence to win a fight, in a close competitive fight, but I still picked him, and he made it easier than I thought it was going to be, and, it was good for Errol Spence. Especially in the welterweight division, he holds a title. Nobody can duck him now if he believe people was ducking him, and he can unify with the likes of, now with Jeff Horn, who beat Pacquiao, as well as Keith Thurman, But we all know before then that he got a lot of fanfare, a lot of random raves because of what he done and sparring with Floyd Mayweather as well as with Adrian Broner. It's been documented. He gave Floyd Mayweather a black eye, gave him some good work. He basically stopped Adrian Broner on his feet. Okay, everybody know that, and so he basically got a lot of notoriety because of that, and got a lot of props because of that, as well as when Floyd, I believe, was his last fight with Berto, when he said he's gonna put his belt on the line or something like that, to relinquish one of his belts, so Keith Thurman wouldn't have to fight him. He can fight somebody like Errol Spence, so, which I didn't know you can actually do some shit like that, but hey, Floyd Mayweather, I guess he can do what the hell he want to do. But people took a hold to that because really, Keith Thurman was the number 1 contender for the WBA belt from Floyd. But Floyd didn't want to fight him, of course. He wanted to get a little easier touch in Andre Berto before he retired. And, that's how it is. That's how Keith Thurman got elevated to interim, to regular, to the full title holder of WBA, because those WBA fighters, whether it was Marcos Maidana, whether it was Adrian Broner, even Paulie Malignaggi before it became Floyd, none of those guys really wanted to fight Keith Thurman. It's documented they didn't fight him, and y'all can say what y'all want to say. They all had opportunity to fight him, and they didn't fight Keith Thurman, so he was elevated just because of that. He did beat Danny Garcia, by the way, the undefeated guy, to gain the WBC belt. Hey, one thing I'm going to say about Thurman, since people think he's so easy, I know he took a body shot, and people think he's very weak to the body, and it may be the case. That's why when he's fighting Danny Garcia, he was doing a whole lot of different body work. And he was doing it not because of for Danny Garcia. In my opinion, he was doing it for Errol Spence because Errol Spence is a phenomenal body puncher. He know how to cut the ring off real well, and he can zero in. And when it's crunch time, when you got his fighter hurt, he goes for he got a killer instinct and he goes for that kill, which I like about Errol Spence. Like I say, he's one of the most technical outside of Michael Garcia. He's one of the most technical, if not the most technical fighter in boxing today. The way he cut off the ring, the way he's very methodical, the way he throws jab, he do a lot of things off the jab. So Errol Spence do a lot of good things. I just believe that if he was to fight a caliber fight of Keith Thurman, I believe it wouldn't be as easy. I believe what Terence Crawford was saying that he would pick Keith Thurman. I would pick Keith Thurman as well. And I know I am definitely in a minority in that pick. Not too many people going to pick Keith Thurman, especially like now everybody high on Errol Spence. And I'm not saying he don't deserve to have that, but you got to be real. I apologize. I had to pause for a second, man. I had to go handle some business. Where was I, man? I was basically saying that as good as Errol Spence has looked, we just can't just think he's just assume that he's gonna blow through everybody. And like I said, I know I'm the minority in picking Keith Thurman, but I've just seen Keith Thurman do more in the rings. Although it's a great win for Errol Spence, versus Kell Brook. But in that fight, in the first half of the fight, I truly believe that Kell Brook was up 4-2 and going to the seventh round. In the seventh round, that's when he said he suffered that eye injury, and you can tell it was a different type. I don't know if he sustained it at that particular time or not, but it was a tale of two sides. The first half he was more competitive. The second half he was out Earl Spence, and then he beat him to submission. And all she wrote, But I did have him up 4-2, and it could be easily be made 3-3 or even 4-2 in Earl Spence's favor. But I just had it 4-2 in Kell Brook's favor. So I just seen Keith Thurman, who moves a whole lot better, who's although Errol Spence is very technical, Keith Thurman can be unorthodox, coming from jumping in and out, coming from the angles of punches. He ain't gonna just come with a jab. You might think he's throwing a jab, but he might turn into like a uppercut or a left hook, anything. You know what I mean? I seen him be a brawler. Be on like he called himself a yin yang fighter. When the fight is going backwards, he's going forward. When the fight is going towards him, he's going backwards. I seen him fight on the back foot. I seen him move around the ring. I seen his defense. I seen him take a punch. I seen him hurt. I seen him fight with a big ass hematoma on his head. I seen him fight with cuts. I seen him almost get knocked down. And with all that being said, I seen him victorious through all of that. I haven't seen Errol Spence wobbled. I haven't seen him hurt to the body. I haven't seen him fight with a hematoma on his head. I haven't seen him fight with a cut. And that's a test of Errol Spence as well, that he didn't have to fight with those elements at this moment. He haven't fought nobody that pushed him for him to have a cut or anything like that. I do remember Errol Spence saying that when he fought Kell Brook, he felt, although he went over to England 2 weeks ahead of time because he didn't want to have jet lag or none of that. He said he heard other fighters that come from the States go over there and just, fight, feel flat. But he said he felt as if he had a less than stellar performance because he was out for like 9 months, as well as because he was out for like 9 months between he fought Bundu and Spence, because he had to wait for Spence to heal up and whether Spence was going to move up or drop the belt or whatever the case may be. But Spence stayed at 147 and then fighting him. And he said he felt a little bit flat because of, maybe going over there to England and maybe having fought for 9 months. He didn't fight as good as he wanted to. But he said, he planned not to be out of the ring that long. And that could be true. But we also know that when you step up in competition, whether you win or not, it's not going to be as easy as the people that you have been fighting before. This is how it is. So I don't think that a fight between him and Errol Spence, and Keith Thurman, I believe, will go this distance. And I'm not going to be surprised if I see an 8-4, 7-5 type of performance, either way. But I would definitely, And I don't like making predictions before a fight even announced, but since a lot of people are going to keep talking about it, and I don't want to, keep skipping around it, I will pick Keith Thurman, but that's just my opinion. So please don't attack me because I don't got time for that dumb shit. And I'm only saying that because, like I said, you got like people act as if just because you are in the minority, and I don't even know why. For real, it should be the majority, but people see things what they want to see. I know I might not have been watching boxing as of a lot, more than some of the people, because some people are older than me. So of course I will hopefully that they have watched boxing, watch more boxing than I have. But I've been watching boxing since I was a child, man, and I've seen a lot of goddamn fights. And look at me right now. If you look at all my predictions, if you go back, I know it's been maybe 6-7 months now, but if you look at all the predictions I've done, I ain't predict every fight. Don't get me wrong, I'm talking about every fight that I predicted. Every fight that I predicted have been 100% correct. I am 100% right now. I haven't got one prediction wrong yet. And it's not to toot my own horn. I'm just being honest. I haven't got no prediction wrong yet, man. I can check it. It's here. I didn't delete no videos. I can go through all of every little thing I've said. I picked Mikey Garcia versus AB. I picked Joshua over Klitschko. I picked shit. Who else I picked? I'm trying to. You know what I mean? I picked a whole lot of different type of. Even if I make a full prediction, I might be predicting in one particular fight, and I might just do it wrong, like I was doing with the AB Mikey Garcia. I know that Charlo was gonna fight the Highland guy, and I said I know Charlo was gonna beat him. You know what I mean? I just do that in there. So, but I'm 100% as of right now. I know, and the reason why I started making videos, man, because even when before I started making them, I didn't get nothing wrong, dude. I'm gonna be totally. I mean, I haven't picked the wrong. I know it's not on camera, so you can say what you want to say. But I haven't had the wrong prediction, and I don't know how long, dude. If I just haven't had no wrong prediction. Man, we all get something wrong. Don't get me wrong, but as of right now, especially of late, I haven't had no wrong prediction. I could just see how fights play out, man. And for some reason, I just truly believe. And I know Keith Thurman is in my top 5, so that might play on my psyche as well. But I truly believe that Keith Thurman would beat Errol Spence, man. I'm telling you, and if the fight ever get made, I go down and predict a little bit more, man. But I truly believe that Keith Thurman, would beat Errol Spence, man. And I'll say this to Errol Spence, because one thing about Keith Thurman, he was gone for about a year, car accident and everything, before he fought Sean Porter. And he still beat Sean Porter in a close fight, but he still beat him. He was gone for like 9 months before he fought Danny Garcia. So don't be surprised if after he get done from his surgery and he get back healthy. Don't be surprised if he go right to Errol Spence, man. And I won't be surprised because as of right now he's fighting. He might be fighting one time a year, but he's fighting high quality opposition. I still want to see him active more, but he's fighting high quality opposition. I don't think he's gonna take a turn. I think he's going straight to Errol Spence. But Errol Spence, I would like for you to have another fight before you fight Keith Thurman, because not only is Keith Thurman sitting on the sideline getting healthy, but he also getting mentally and spiritually and physically ready for you as well. He already ready for you, man, because that's why he playing that meek, humble role. Oh yeah, when he come mention your name, you really want to say anything. It's to lull people to sleep, and boom, boom, you might see that one time, come right back, man. That's all I'm gonna say. And also, Errol Spence, don't fight Sean Porter, man. I can see him kind of upsetting the apple cart, man. So to speak. So fight with somebody in the top 10 in the IBF or whoever the case may be. And to have a little tune-up fight to stay, just so you won't have the same thing you had with as you say with Kell Brook, fighting a little bit lackluster because you was out of the ring for that amount of time. We don't want no excuses. We want you fluid as hell. So take a little tune-up fight, and maybe so the fight can get ready next year, man. K Black Boxing signing out. Like, comment, subscribe.